Hi, and welcome to episode number 17 of this latest Spire tutorial series. In this episode, we will start creating the manual targeting system. The manual targeting system will be divided in 2 episodes, and in this one, we will create the arrow view for the targeting system. Let's go! First, we will create a game object for the arrow view in the view section of our hierarchy. This arrow view will consist of 2 things: the line of the arrow and the head. Let's create both. For the head, we will create an object with a sprite renderer. We can use the square one here, it doesn't matter as we will replace the sprite anyway. For the line, we will use a line renderer. You can find it under Effects. When you first add it, you probably won't see it. But that's okay. We will change that soon. Now that we have both objects, we can configure them. For the head's sprite renderer, we can replace the square sprite with the arrowhead sprite. The orientation here has to stay like this, so if you're using a custom arrowhead, just make sure that it shows to the right. Also make sure that the layer order is set to something high like 99, so that our arrow is always on top of the other things. For the line, we can first open the positions array here and change the second position to something like x equals 5. This is not needed actually, but it would help us to see the arrow so that we can set everything up. The line doesn't really look like a line, and that's because the default material is the wrong one. I have no idea if that problem is just in my Unity version or not. But let's change it to the default line material. This looks better already. In this graph here, we can now shape our line. Mine will start very thin and will go to full width. But the full width actually is still pretty thin, and like you can see, we cannot really move it further. To change the max width, you have to edit this number here. The other settings can stay as they are. The only thing that we want to change here as well is the layer order to 99, for example, so that the line also is on top. For the parent object, we need a script, the arrow view script. We create it in a views folder and drag it onto the target arrow view object. First, we need 2 serialized fields here. We need our arrowhead as game object and our line renderer. We also need the start position or origin position of the arrow here. We then will need the update method and also a setup arrow method. The setup arrow method will take the start position as parameter. In the setup arrow method, we will store the start position first, and we will set the 2 points of the line renderer. Index 0 will be the start here and index 1 the end. For the end position, we will use our mouse position from the utility method that we have created in one of the other episodes. In the update, we will first save the end position, which will also be the mouse position here, and the direction, which we calculate like this. We then set the endpoint of the line renderer. Then we also set the arrowhead's position and direction. In the editor, we have to set the 2 fields and can then hit play. This looks almost good. It works like expected, but there is one small issue. The arrowhead center is at the mouse position, but we actually want the tip of the arrow to be there. For that, we can go into the sprite editor of the arrowhead and change the pivot to be at the tip. Now in play mode, we can see that it looks better and it works. Cool. Next time, we will connect everything and use this arrow in our manual targeting system. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please leave a like or a sub, it helps me a lot. Thank you for watching and see you next time.